When I was in Japan last year, I bought this old PlayStation magazine, because by now I know most that I think I need to know about the Famicom and Super Famicom libraries, but when it comes to PlayStation 1, I think there are still a lot of games to find out about. And that's just what I did when I flipped over to pages 62 and 63, that had an article about the then newly released game Yukiwari no Hana. This game is part of the Japanese-only YaruDora series, made by Sugar and Rockets, the company behind the third jumping flash game Robot Mon Dieu and a couple of intelligent cube sequels. They made the YaruDora series for Sony and were later absorbed into Sony in the year 2000 or so. YaruDora is a simple portmanteau of Yaru and Dorama, meaning a drama that you do or make. Basically it's,
interactive television.
But the Japanese had a different take on that concept than us Westerners, usually leaning more heavily into the adventure genre. The YaruDora series consists of 4 plus 3 games. I say that because the first 4, released on the PlayStation in 1998, were intended as a series, but the other 3 are just kinda 3 more, that aren't related to those first 4. The 4 on PlayStation weren't connected to each other in terms of story, but in themes. First of all, they each represented a season, with Double Cast being spring, Kisetsu o Dakishimete being summer, Sampaguita being fall, and finally Yukiwari no Hana representing winter. They also all had a female main character with amnesia. This seemed very interesting, but because I'm not that into anime, I didn't get any of the first 3 games that all have what I consider the standard anime art style. Instead I imported the 4th and to me the most fascinating one that I had also seen in that magazine, Yukiwari no Hana, which has a different art style that looks more like something from, I don't know, the Animatrix maybe? Sorry, I haven't seen much anime, so I don't have a lot of points of reference, but I do like this art style. I was also drawn to the plot, which is about you as the protagonist living next door to a beautiful woman who is living mostly alone because her boyfriend is usually away on business trips. And on one such trip, he's in a car accident and dies, hearing of which sends the woman into a deep shock, losing her memory. You, living next door and with a big crush on her, rush to the hospital where when she awakens, she thinks you are her dead boyfriend. Not wanting to tell the truth and potentially put her life in jeopardy, or because you see an opportunity to finally get the girl, you lie. But then what? How far will you take it? Will you continue to lie for her sake? Or for yours? Being an interactive drama, there's no gameplay other than choosing what to say and do. But that's fine. That's the point of these kinds of games. And though you might classify this game as an FMV game, there's not that much of just sitting down watching clips. The animation is somewhat sparse actually. But when it's there, it's really good. The animation for all the YaruDora games, including the ones on PS2, were made by anime studio Production IG, best known for animes like Ghost in the Shell and Psycho Pass. And they've also made intros for the Tales of games, and much more. After the PS1 quartet, there were 3 more on PlayStation 2, or actually 2 more. Scandal, about a paparazzi who gets more than she bargains for, and Blood the Last Vampire, based on the anime. There are 2 of those, but they are Jokan and Gekan, which are kind of like part 1 and part 2, so it can be counted as just one game. And they were combined in the PSP release anyway. The 4 PS1 games also got PSP releases, but for some reason Scandal did not. Of course, none of these games left Japan, so to play them you need to know Japanese. You can play with just audio if you're really confident, but unlike most Japanese movies, they all have subtitles you can switch on. And they don't roll on automatically, so you're free to pause and look up words when needed. Pacing be damned, at least when the protagonist is speaking or thinking. I also much recommend playing with rumble on, because it rumbles at points in the story where the protagonist feels something, usually going boom boom, like a heartbeat. That's my introduction to YaruDora. I only recently found out about it and I'm by no means an expert, but I just want to introduce you to it too. Hopefully I made you interested in trying one out or just shed a little more light on one part of the wide world of Japanese games. In my next video I'll be playing Yukiwari no Hana for a time and adding translation. Hope you see you there. And remember, I have a Twitter, please talk to me about video games. Please.